Right, Shalom. It's the brother Quashab coming back at you with another quick lesson. And before I get started, I want to give all praises, glory, infinite honors unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rekakwadash, Yahweh being a true name of the Heavenly Father. Bahashem means in the name. Yahweh Shai being a true name of who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. All right, those are their names in the ancient language, the Hebrew. Okay, and also want to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught me this truth and rule well, and peace, blessings, and citations to the hopefully elect, right, as well as those that believe the gospel. May you endure to the end, Lord willing. All right, and the particular title of today's lesson, basically, if you're not willing to sacrifice, then you will be the sacrifice. All right, now Lord willing, this be edifying, right, straight to the point. Okay, if you're not willing to sacrifice, then you will be a sacrifice. All right, now what do I mean by that is because, you know, when you come into this truth, all right, you have to be willing to sacrifice, man. You got to be willing to sacrifice your time. All right, sacrifice you know, worldly things. All right, you might have had a job that so it take you wouldn't allow you to come to camp. All right, different things as such. All right, because the Lord requires you to put this truth on the forefront. All right, and everything else has to go on the back burner. All right, which is ultimately a sacrifice that you're making. Okay, because you have faith that if I make this sacrifice, it's going to pay off more than the sacrifices in the world that's going to pay off. All right, the things that are carnal, all right, the things that are just for a moment. All right, when we know that, you know, we have an eternal weight of glory that's waiting on us, Lord willing, we endure to the end. All right, now I'm gonna start off. It's the book of Romans chapter 12 verse 1. It says, I beseech you therefore, brethren, by the mercies of the Most High, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice. All right, and there's one way that we ultimately make a sacrifice as well. All right, presenting our bodies as a living sacrifice. All right, going out on the highways and hedges week in, week out. All right, because Lord knows what can happen to us. All right, if the angels didn't encamp around us. All right, encamp around the camp, man. Okay, this is also, you know, something that you have to be willing to sacrifice. Your Saturdays, man, Fridays, whatever day your allotted camp goes out, all right, during the week, man. Okay, week in, week out, all right, whatever day that be, you got to be willing to sacrifice that day. All right, for us down here in New Orleans, it's a Saturday. All right, so you got to be willing to sacrifice your Saturday, every month, 4 times a month. All right, you got to be willing to do that. All right, and if you're not willing to do that, well, you going, hey man, the Lord gonna deal with you harshly. All right, now it says which is your reasonable service. All right, and this is our reasonable service. Okay, that's the least we can do for the Lord. All right, after he's allowed us to wake up, all right, come back to our true nationality, all right, understand the end time prophecies, okay, and also ultimately have us the understanding to be able to teach others, all right, and to warn his people, man, all right, as well as the other nations of their coming judgment. You see, offering up those spiritual sacrifices, man. All right, now earlier I mentioned, to start it off, okay, I mentioned about come on, man, turn. Earlier I mentioned about willing to sacrifice time with, you know, family. All right, time with your children. Okay, missing out on the parties. All right, the barbecues. Well, ultimately, we know that this is way more important than that anyway. All right, this is the understanding you should have, and ultimately, it's a mindset thing. All right, that's That's basically a worldly mindset, all right, of missing out on things, all right? The most important thing is this truth, man, all right? And I'm going to keep saying that, all right? You should be, as brothers say all the time, all right, your schedule should be organized around the truth, all right? So you miss everything else except for camp, all right, conference calls, okay, lessons with brothers, you know, so on and so forth, all right? That's how your schedule should be organized. It should be organized around the truth, you see? Now, this is the book of Luke. It's chapter 14, verse 26. It's read, let us, Yahweh speaking, it says, if any man come to me and hate not his father, his mother, and wife and children, and brethren, and sisters, yea, and his own life also, he cannot be my disciple. So let's get some understanding on what the Lord is saying, all right? The Lord is saying that you can't come and follow him, all right, be a soldier in his army, if you're not ready to put those things on the back burner, man, all right? That word hate, it goes, which is twofold in the scriptures, all right? It can mean a strong dislike, or it can mean to love less, okay? So in the context of this scripture, it means to love less, man, all right? Because in order to serve the Lord, you have to put him and his ministry first, you see? This is what has to come first, all right? Not your mama, your daddy, your sisters, your wife, your children, all right? This has to come first. This is why Yahweh Shai said it that way, all right? Because he knew men was going to be drawn away, all right, with the exact same things that I'm speaking on, man, all right? He knew this, you see? But, I believe that was the point. I'll read it again. It said, if any man come to me and hate not his father and mother and wife and children and brethren and sisters, yea, also his own life also, all right? That's the point, all right? Because I said, you know, maybe it's a job, right? You might have had a $100,000 job, but it wouldn't allow you to be at camp, all right? It wouldn't allow you to take part, all right, in the truth, man. And brothers tell you, you know, stories and different things like that all the time, all right? Well, they had to sacrifice that in order to come and serve the Lord, man. You see? They had to sacrifice that in order to come and serve the Lord, bro. And you're not the only one that has to sacrifice, all right? Brothers have sacrificed all kinds of things, all right? Spiritual sacrifices, all right, if I must say, okay? Because we know we're not under the old covenant, all right, of sacrificing goats and lambs, man, all right? Now this is the book of Sirach, chapter 2, verse 1. It says, my son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation, all right? Because things, when you come to serve the Lord, all right, things are not going to go smooth, all right? You might have your woman come up against you, your parents, right? Say, hey, you know, you don't come around anymore, you know, every time we do something on a Saturday, you know? You may have children that want to go out and do this, that, and the third, all right? But you got to go to camp every Saturday, okay? So when you come to serve the Lord, you got to prepare your soul for these things, man, all right? Which is a point of counting the cost, you see? All right, and I'm gonna drop down, okay? Because it's only two sides of the coin, all right? You can either endure it, or you can either be faint-hearted, right? Now this Sirach, this book of Sirach, chapter 2, verse 12, it says, woe be to the fearful hearts and faint hands and the sinner that goeth two ways. You see, because you can't serve Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua and try to serve your family, all right, equally, okay? I'll just say that, equally. Salaki. Gotta tighten this thing up. But it says, woe unto him that is faint-hearted, for he believeth not, therefore he shall not be defended. You see? Woe unto you that have lost patience, and what will ye do when the Lord shall visit you, you see? And this is ultimately, if you're not willing to sacrifice, this is you becoming the sacrifice, man. All right? Because we know that according to Zechariah 13, verse 8, that it shall come to pass that 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, man. All right? And these are the Israelites who heard the word and didn't take heed. All right? Because whether you like it or not, every Israelite has either walked by a camp, okay, walk past scroll past a video on Instagram, YouTube, whatever it is, okay, which is how certain men woke up. All right? But as we know, according to Romans 11:7, that this is only for the elect, okay, the remnant. All right? And these are the ones that's going to be slated for salvation. All right? Now, I'm going to close it out with this one. Okay? It says, this is Isaiah chapter 34, verse 6. I'll read verse 5. It says, for my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come upon the land of Idumea and upon the people of my curse to judgment. All right? Talking about the Edomites. Okay? I believe that the word Idumea is the Greek word for Edom, okay? The people of his curse. Why? Because they don't have no pigment in their skin, all right? The Lord cursed them, you see? That's the people of the Lord's curse, all right? Blind hair, all right? Their skin show forth through their blood shows forth through their skin, man, okay? Now it says, this is the point in verse 6. It says the sword of the Lord is filled with blood, it is made fat with fatness, and with the blood of lambs and goats, all right? Because those are the sacrifices, man. As I mentioned earlier, in the ancient times, all right, you would sacrifice a goat, a lamb, you know, anything that was acceptable to the Lord, okay? Now, I'm not too sure with all of those things that were acceptable. You know, I have to read up on that, but, you know, you get the point, all right? It says, and with the fat, man. It says, and with the fat of the kidneys of rams, right? You can sacrifice rams too under the old covenant. It says, for the Lord Yahweh had a sacrifice in Bozrah, all right? And that's talking about here in America, okay? All of the people here is going to be sacrifices unto the Lord, man, okay? But you go back to Bozrah, it was a chief city of Edom, all right, in the ancient times, okay? Well, this is a prophecy that hasn't come to pass yet. So what's the chief city of Edom in the present times, man? Here in America, all right? It says, and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea, all right? So if you are not willing to become a sacrifice, then you will be sacrificed here in America, all right, when the Lord makes his return, okay, and fills his sword with blood, man, all right? So I brought the Zada was edifying. Until the next time, I say shalom.